Hi eBay sellers, it's Suzanne A. Wells. Thanks for coming back for another video. And I want to talk a little bit about page views and sales on eBay. It seems there is a lot of worrying, analyzing, even sometimes obsessing over page views. How many should I have? How many does it take for an item to sell? When should I take an item down because it has too many? When should I change things on my listing because it has too many? And unfortunately, like most other things eBay, this is just not a question we can really answer analytically anyway, or scientifically, because there's just too many variables involved to come up with a definitive answer. Maybe somebody out there will go and interview every single eBay seller and look at every single listing and compile a report about, the average number of views on an item before it sells. But I'm not going to be that person because I've got too many other businesses to run. But I'll share with you my experience of what I have figured out, and maybe this will help you in your business. So what I'm going to do here is go over some of my sold listings, and let's just take a look at how many views each one had. Now, I know you're thinking, oh, but you get so much traffic to your store because you're on YouTube and people know about your store, and this isn't going to apply to my business because I'm just a regular seller and I don't get all this extra traffic. Well, yes and no, but sometimes that can hurt you. If I do get traffic from people on YouTube coming to check out my store, and beginners or other sellers looking at how I do things, and that's okay. I have two stores. I have this store, and then I have another store that nobody knows about, and the same principles apply to both. It only takes one person to buy something. So if you are one of these people that is just so caught up in the numbers and figuring this out, my advice to you is stop doing that. I'm going to smack your hand and say, stop doing that, because it's not a good use of your time. You need to be finding great items, taking great pictures, writing good listings, providing excellent customer service, shipping your items on time. And I'm sure some of you are just, wondering out of curiosity how this works. What is that magic number? So let me just show you a few of my listings, and this will appear on your listings too. One thing I want to point out is when you are in your sold items view, which is what this is, you don't have a column to sort by number of views. But when you go to your active listings, like this one, this is my active listing page, you do have you can put a column for views. So you can go up here to customize, and you can add that column for views. If this is something you want to watch or sort by or just pay attention to, that option is available on your active listings view, but it is not, you can't customize the sold listings view. It just is what it is. So let's look at a few of these items, and this is just kind of one of those I'm going to prove a point things, because I really hate to see people wasting time on research that is going to be pointless. So here's an item. This is Anthropology Odile pink skirt, and this item had 194 views before it sold, and it just sold yesterday, so I think it was coming up in the sort where it was just about to end. Here's another one, this Eileen Fisher. This was in my haul video a couple of weeks ago. I've got the link to the top up there. I took a best offer of $35 on this item, and it sold in a couple of weeks, and this item had 60 page views. So I'm looking up here at the top where the page views are when you click on your sold items in your shipping view, your whichever sold view you want to pick, whether it's all orders, paid and shipped, whatever. That's where it's going to be. This is another one that was in one of my haul videos. It only had 19 views, and it sold in like the day after I listed it, and I took a best offer on that one. So that's the item there. But 19 page views, that's pretty low if you think about it. Only 19, I don't know if it was 19 people, it could have been fewer people than that, but that's all it took for it to sell. Here's the fun Mr. Rogers mug. This had 64 page views. So that's, that's a lot of people. Then I have a Land's End bathing suit. This had 54 page views. Okay. And this also reinforces the fact that your items are getting seen. There's also a lot of, what's the best word here to use in a positive way? How about discussion about slow sales? As long as your items are getting viewed every day, that's all you need. You cannot force people to buy things. There's not a whole lot you can do other than have great items, have great pictures, excellent titles with good keywords, price your item right, and as long as it's getting views, you're on the right track. So this is another way to look at this business and say, hey, I'm doing everything I can correctly, and I just have to wait. You just have to wait for that garden to grow, and as long as you're getting page views, then people are coming to your listings, and that's what matters. I've got this J. Crew skirt that's sold full price, and it got 57 views. So it looks like around 60 views is kind of a common number. Let's keep going here on other things because I've got different kinds of items. This is a fun little Pure One spatula. And, sorry, got choked there. 26 page views on this. And this person was a new buyer. They only had one feedback and the transaction went just fine. Everybody has to start somewhere. Then we've got a size 2X top. It had 80 page views. Okay, I've got things that have 300 page views before they sell, and I'm pretty sure some of that is from, these are items that were in my haul videos, and I'm sure it's people looking at them, but not always. So this is just a basic cashmere sweater. This sold for this had 32 page views. So right here, 32 page views. That works for me. And I think, my rule of thumb over the years is as long as it's getting one page view a day, so maybe 30 a month, then you're on the right track. If you think about if you had a store, a brick and mortar store, you're going to have people walking in the door looking at your stuff. That's what a page view is, people looking at your stuff. This item, the Lane Bryant puffer vest that I had for a long time, had 76 page views, but I do my listings on 30 days and then I restart them. So this was not 76 page views over 2 years. This was over a 30-day duration. Okay, and let's see what else. This Canon photo paper, this was one of my great sales. It was $2.50 and it sold for $109, or I think I took a best offer at $99. Anyway, had 131 page views. Okay, so you don't have to be getting hundreds of page views on your items for them to sell. It just takes that one buyer, just like when you're selling your house and people are walking through your house looking at it. It could take 2 people, it could take 15 people. You just don't know it. It has to be the right person. Now this one, I don't know why the page views aren't showing. Let me refresh this and see. There they go. 51 page views for these Fry ballet flat shoes. Okay, so it looks like in the 50s and 60s is kind of the average. Here's a Nicole Miller sweater. It had 20 page views. That's pretty low. Only took 20 views for somebody to buy it. And then we have the Chaleur coffee mug, 24 page views. Okay. This should also be motivation for you to get your items listed because they could sell in an hour, they could sell the next day. It only takes one person to buy it. Let me see what else I've got. This is the person that didn't pay for it, but that's okay. It happens. 44 page views on this philosophy dress. And let's just do a few more here. I think you get the point, but we might as well go through a few more since we've got it. This is the Gunny Sacks dress. 25 page views. So not hundreds. This altered state dress did have quite a few, but this one I featured in a video, and I think a lot of people came to look at it. So it had 303 page views, but it sold for full price, and it was just to a regular eBayer, not from somebody coming over from YouTube. This is a formal vintage dress. It only had 53 page views, and this sold for $115 and went to Finland. So you've just got to keep at it. Have faith that the system works, because it does. Here's that bowl I had forever, and I kept relisting it, listing it again every 30 days for over a year, and it only took 20 page views the last time it was refreshed and sold for full price. Let's see if I have anything else unusual. Let's look at the Martha Stewart poncho and see how many page views. That had 27 page views, and it sold for, I took a best offer of 40 on this, but only took 27 page views. So how do you analyze your listings a little bit further if you want to do that? You can go over to your traffic reports, and if you go under the performance tab here in your seller hub and go down to traffic, you can see your traffic reports, how much traffic you're getting, where it's coming from inside of eBay, from outside of eBay. You can set the duration here of the time frame you want it to look at, whether it's a week or a month or up to 90 days, and just see how things are going. I can tell you without a doubt that when I'm listing and active on my store, my views on everything else goes up. Like you can see here in December all the way through middle of January, it's pretty slow. Not a whole lot going on. The views are pretty low. But I started going back shopping again, and this corresponds exactly with that video that I did on January 17th. Now, how do we know if these views are coming from YouTube or if it's because I was listing items? Because I was doing both. So there's no way to tell which one of those things boosted up my views. But I like to think it was because I'm listing, because I added quite a few very nice, high quality, expensive items that, I added that to my store. And I think your whole store gets a boost when you are listing. It's just something about eBay search likes active stores, and when one activity that you can control is listing. You can't control when things sell. You can mark stuff down, you can run auctions, you can have sales, but that's not going to guarantee you're going to get sales. The only activity that you can absolutely control is listing. So take a look at your reports, again, under the Performance tab in your Seller Hub. Go to Traffic. And another thing I want to explain here is impressions versus page views. Impressions is when something comes up in a search, whether you're on Google or anywhere on a website, whatever. That's what an impression is it comes up on the screen in front of someone. So if someone's on eBay searching for Ann Taylor black skirt size 10, and then they get all of these search results, if you're in those search results, that's considered an impression, okay, if it comes up on the customer's screen. So that versus a page view is when they actually click on it and go look at it, and your listing is on their screen. So you can see impressions are, exponentially larger than page views, and that's why. But again, impressions correspond with page views. The more you're coming up in searches, the more opportunity you have for a buyer to click on your listing and go look at it. So bottom line of this video is go take a look at your sales. Click on your sales, go to the listing, look at how many page views things had. Get an idea for your business, for the types of things you sell, about how many page views it's taking. But that's just a guideline. Please don't go out in your groups and on YouTube and say, Suzanne said you need 60 page views for something to sell. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that looks like it's the average for me based on what I just looked at very quickly, a few listings. But it just takes one buyer. I've had things sell with one page view because someone had an alert set up. And as soon as I listed the item, they were notified and they bought it immediately. The Christmas ornament comes to mind. I had bought this at a Christmas in July sale for $1. I think it was like, I don't know, 2014. It's on my Pinterest board. But I listed the item. It sold immediately for like $85. It had one page view because it was a collectible item. That person obviously had an alert set up. As soon as I listed the item, it had the keywords he was looking for. He went to the listing and bought it. And so I'm just sharing this with you so you'll know this data is there. If you want to take a few minutes to just quickly look at your listings and look at the page views, and then just don't worry about this anymore, because this isn't something that you're going to be able to change. What you have control over is finding good items, taking good pictures. That's really important. Writing listings with good keywords that buyers are going to search for, and getting those death piles listed. And again, if you need help listing items, check out my virtual assistant service. I've got the link above to the video about that so you can see exactly what it is and what we do. But if it's not listed, it can't sell. Nobody's going to email you and say, hey, I know you've got this giant death pile next to you and there's one thing in it that I really want to buy. That's not going to happen. You've got to get it listed. So listing is going to pump some new juice into your entire store. It's going to increase page views on everything, and you're going to sell more. So would love your comments on this video. If you were aware of this data on eBay, if you're paying attention to that, if you just don't care. But if this is something you want the answer to, look at your own listings, see what your average page views is. I don't know if you want to spend time, you could maybe go over the last month and average that out. Take the page views on each item and then average it out over the number of items and just get a ballpark figure for your business, because everybody's business is different. Thank you so much for watching, and have a profitable and productive day on eBay. Bye.